This fish is being eaten alive in the open ocean, offering no resistance. While most animals possess a desperate instinct to fight or flee, the sunfish remains motionless as it is consumed. This is the ocean's most baffling giant. A single adult can reach a weight of 5,000 pounds, confirming the sunfish as the heaviest bony fish on the planet. Usually, an animal that consumes this many resources to reach this size becomes an apex predator or a heavily armored tank. It exists alongside agile predators like sea lions, which have mastered the speed and maneuverability required for survival in the open sea. Instead, the sunfish has grown into a massive, defenseless target. Its presence in the modern ocean appears to contradict the basic logic of survival. This massive frame begins at a scale that is nearly invisible. At birth, a sunfish is no larger than a pinhead. This logarithmic graph shows the trajectory required to reach adulthood. It represents a growth of 60 million times its birth size. Tracking the data along this curve reveals the energy debt involved. Fueling this expansion requires a constant, uninterrupted intake of oceanic resources. The sunfish commits its biological budget to sheer mass, leaving nothing left to develop defensive capabilities. This lopsided trade creates a physical vulnerability that defines every aspect of the animal's life. This schematic reveals the first missing feature, the lack of a tail fin, the primary engine for propulsion in the sea. It also lacks protective scales, leaving its 5,000-pound body covered only in soft, vulnerable skin. These missing features render the animal functionally immobile. It cannot swim against the current or maneuver away from a threat, effectively drifting as a stationary buffet. With no armor and no speed and high predation rates, an individual sunfish is a vulnerable design that seems ill-equipped to survive the pressures of the open ocean. To find the reason for its survival, we have to look past the individual and examine the mathematics of the entire species. The sunfish relies on a single biological advantage: extreme reproductive output. This chart compares reproductive output across species. At 300 million eggs per female, the sunfish produces more offspring than any other vertebrate on Earth. To visualize that number, a single spawning event creates more life than there are people in the United States. This is the logic of mass reproduction. When you produce 300 million offspring, physical armor and speed are no longer required for the species to persist. Millions of sunfish can be eaten by predators, and yet the math ensures the species remains secure. Natural selection isn't always about building the strongest or fastest individual. Often survival is simply a numbers game. This massive frame begins at a scale that is nearly invisible.